Welcome, Vladislav here. This is another review of a tech site. Now, I think I didn't define tech site the last time I did one of these. It's websites aimed at an audience of design or technology-focused folks. So if something is meant for developers or people working in tech, I consider this to be a tech site, more or less. I am a big fan of this page and the people behind this page and the work of the people behind this page. I'm quite familiar with some of their courses. I think I listened to every single podcast episode. I read most of the articles. Now, I realized when rereading this article today that I haven't taken a closer look at how the page is structured. And I thought it would be fun to do and to talk through my impressions while doing so. Just to underline once again, this page, I think I learned most things I know about doing business on the internet today from Amy and Alex, and I wouldn't have the understanding I have without spending a lot of time trying to learn as much as I can from the stuff they put out. And these impressions right now, they will probably be incomplete. Like, I will miss some things, I will misinterpret stuff, but I want to do my best at trying to break this page down, and I hope you will learn something from me doing so. So let's get started. First of all, what I notice here is the design, which is quite nice. The page is called Stacking the Bricks. There it is. It's the logo, and when you scroll down, it kind of becomes part of this bar at the top, which is really cool. If this doesn't scream like work of love and design, I don't know what does. Now, what I notice is we start the page at the top. I wanted to read the article. The title is above the fold, at least for my resolution. Maybe it will look differently for people with a bigger resolution. And front and center, first of all, is the branding of the site. It's called Stacking the Bricks. Build your business one win at a time. And what we see is that there's more to see. So this is the navigation bar. We can go to articles, for example. And when we are there, this is the page of all articles. It's just a list of all the writing on the page. I do have something like this on my side. This is familiar. What they do here is I see they've got like a bit of like one more design decision, I guess, that the bullet points are not too boring. When you hover over links, they get highlighted. There's this flashy new sign for frequent visitors, I guess, so people can see what has been published recently. Really cool. Now, let's get back to the article. All right, so branding of the page, navigation bar, there's podcasts to see videos, success stories, so this is probably where we could see social proof, our products, everything which is offered, I guess, and a search bar. Now, this is something I've been trying for my own site, just to give people a way to navigate around the page interactively. I guess this is like if you wanted to find a particular article, you would go here and you would look for a term which you care about. I don't know, like audience, for example, and you see, well, these are the matches of the titles. But of course, now I gotta navigate back somehow. Let's go back. Now, if you want to look for something, of course, just pressing audience and looking for stuff is a more convenient user experience. If it works, I think this is due to my ad blocker. Now, let's see. Can I reload this? Audience. Oh, yeah, there's the search. And the search is working hard. 107 results. There are podcast episodes, videos. Really cool. Oh, this is nice. So this is a really advanced feature. I guess this is about personalization. So I can tell the site, well, I'm a developer or I'm a writer, and probably it will adjust some of the CTAs or maybe even the structure of the site on the main page. I'm not quite sure. I will not do this right now. Oh, it sticks around. Well, that's quite the effort, isn't it? All right, but back to the article. Lots of opportunity to interact with the page and to discover more articles if you're not too focused on getting to read. I don't know what the usual visitor does. I think if I go to an article I want to read, I'm like, oh yeah, sure. I'll scroll down. Okay, this is the stuff I'm here to read. I know some pages, they when you visit them the first time, they kind of navigate down. So they skipped the big image at the top. The navigation bar gets, like the navigation section gets jumped over. You kind of start in this scroll down state. This is not what's happening here. So here we are just starting at the top, I think. Let's reload. I guess we're starting at the top. Yeah, looks like it. So when we start, there's this neat animation of the bricks. All right, but you scroll down, you see like the title of the article, the person who wrote the article, in this case, Amy Hoy. You can't click on the author to get more articles. This would be a nice opportunity, I guess, to see more things written by the person. I was tempted to click the image, but this is not something which was deemed important in this case. So let's read on. All right, so we're reading the article. There is this big image. One thing I noticed when actually reading the article is that it doesn't get boring. So there's the title, there's the image, there's a quote, and when you get distracted and kind of scroll down, you still have these big headings, which I know for a fact the site is probably designed in a way that you don't need to pay attention, and you can kind of skim it and still get the main message. And maybe if you get interested again, you can start reading, or you can go back and continue where you stopped at. One thing which I appreciate and see when scrolling through the site, apart from the cool design, like the theme, the colors are of the branding, I guess. I'm not a designer, so forgive me if I use the wrong words. It's very readable. The font is kind of in the middle, so it's more convenient to read. It doesn't stretch out. There's images. Oh, these are kind of the subheadings or the bullet points, and these are the actual headings. Links are made in this nice style. Cool. So let's pretend we read it. By the way, this is a cool article. If you feel like you're forcing yourself to do tedious work, I think you might want to read it. It's got a nice message. When we scroll down, there are the images. It's really casual, personable. It's telling a part of a personal story, and it's got a nice message. So when you scroll down, you get to the end of the article, and I think like this is where the main part of it ends. And now this last step, like this last section, it feels like an inline CTA to me. Like, okay, the person has has paid enough attention to read through the whole article, and now needlessly it goes to the next steps. Like, what can you do? You're interested in this. You agree that like the way of forcing yourself to write 1,000 words every single day is maybe not the way it has to be. So here's how to find a better way, and here are 3 articles which are relevant to this piece of writing, where you can, as a reader, you can click on them and continue reading. And then the article like actually ends. At least this is how I understand it. Like this kind of inline CTA, the next steps, it's really, really cool to help people who are maybe busy, because sometimes, you just read the whole thing and you're done. You close the tab. Just making it easier to take the next step to learn something which can help you is really cool. And it doesn't break the flow. It's the same as the article, mostly. And if people are still interested, they can still scroll down, and down here is the CTA. How do you make your first sale? Follow our free roadmap. Win at a time, first name, email address. So this is a classical email capture CTA where you get on the list. It's not strongly in sync with the article, because the article is about, you don't have to write 1,000 words. Maybe you should go easier on yourself. Or like, maybe I misunderstood it. Read the thing, don't listen to me. So here is something kind of relevant, really relevant for the brand, kind of relevant to the article, but if somebody has paid attention and they're like, this is something which interests me as well, they will probably enter their credential and press like get the free roadmap. Now, I see that it's like kind of in page. I was considering for my own site if I wanted to replace CTA boxes with kind of a button, so people don't have to see the box. They can just like read what's in for them, like click and then. But I guess this is one click more. So when you click something and then there's a pop-up or a pop-under, and then you enter your name, then you click again. It's like one click more. More effort, less visible. All right, so there's a CTA after the inline CTA kind of next reading things, and there are no more links afterwards. There's just the classical footer, like privacy terms. I guess this is some legal stuff, copyright, and who is behind the page. I guess these are kind of legal environments for US-based websites. Now I see there's still some answer things. Let's compare this to another article. This is the next one I opened actually when visiting the site. Let's see, this one, just to compare it. So this is another article on the same page. We see there is an image at the top. Previously, when we go back here, there was no image. It was just blank. So this must be, I don't know if it's an A/B test or just another design decision. The same elements this time in color. Once again, the effort to put the brand to the front, to show people like, hey, this is more than just one article. You can read more. And then there's the title and a Russian translation. Oh, this is nice. And when I look at this one, like I see, again, images, frequent subtitles to make it more scannable, I guess. Sounds familiar. Like I'm not even reading and I'm still reading. You know what I mean? This is really skimmable, I think is the word. And then by the end, there is kind of a transition towards the topic of the site. So here there are no read this next articles. Instead, it's, if you agree with this article, maybe you want to do this thing. Oh, it's not quite in sync, I guess. Or maybe it is. I'm not sure. Like the year of hustle is not the same thing. Oh yeah, it is. I read once that you can assume that like your website visitors, they don't have too much attention to pay. And here I am trying to understand the site and still missing the connection between the text and the CTA. Well, I was skimming, surely. But year of hustle. I see. So this CTA is very much in sync with this transition here. I think it's a transition. Once again, I'm making words up. Maybe there are proper words for this. I'm not quite sure. So here there's just one thing to do. There are no articles by the end of it. Just, you read this thing, and if you agree, this is the next thing you can do. Cool. I would like to do one more thing, namely to check out the main page. Oh, cool. Okay, so once again, the logo, a few animated bricks, which are in sync with the topic of the site, with the spirit of the site, more like build your business, ship more stuff, make more money, help more people. This is a great premise. I really like it. And the first thing you see, subscribe. So I guess the site is assuming that somebody came here from an article which they already read, they liked it, they want to know more about the website. So the first thing is like, hey, you should enter your credentials here if you want to launch a product that sells. And then there is the navigation bar, latest articles, so like structural elements which help people to read more of the website, to like maybe build a better connection, learn more, guides, more articles. Lots and lots of stuff for people who are interested. Podcasts, videos, oh wow. These are lots of different formats. It would be curious to understand how these things work together, because sometimes you have got a complex funnel. You have people who listen to a podcast, you send them to some kind of article or to some kind of page, you want to get them on the mailing list, but it's not a immediate transition. It's more like people hear from you, people read some of your things, then they keep coming back, and one day they're like, oh, you know what, I'm really curious about the site. Maybe I should join, maybe I should do this, do that, because it resonates and I want the things that the site is promising. It's complex. I hope to understand it better one day. But I think I will start understanding funnels which are a little easier and less complex than this one. This has been my review of Stacking the Bricks, starting at the article, Don't Write 1,000 Words a Day. I'm curious if I missed something. Of course, the article itself is exquisitely written, relatable, and interesting. I will link it in the description below in case you haven't read it yourself, or in case you want to read it. Now, what have I learned here? I have learned that inline CTAs seem to be a good idea, or like that you want to give people a next thing to do by the end of the article. A smooth transition between the text and the CTA of the page, the single CTA. So there are no other links to other articles or something like this, because the hope here is, I guess, that the person is going to fill out the CTA and start a less casual relationship with the people behind the site. So getting on the mailing list and getting emails and maybe getting stuff you are actually interested in is more relevant than just getting people to read more things. I hope this was interesting. It was pretty interesting for me. I think I have a few more things to think about. And I'll see you in a next episode of Tech Site Reviews, or whatever it's called. If I missed something, I would be very curious to hear from you. Like, was there something interesting? I guess one more thing I can try is, what happens if I select developer who works at a startup? Oh, okay, so it's not about personalization, it's actually about learning more about the people. And then you get a personalized CTA. Wow, this is really cool. Nice. All right. Anyway, that's it, folks. Thanks so much for joining in. I hope it was interesting, and I'll see you in a future one. Bye now.